Welcome to the CLRP Bullshit Sports Podcast. Today it's just me and Nathan, and our topics today are going to be about sports. So sit back and enjoy.
How you doing today?
I am actually doing good. How about you, Nathan?
That's good to hear. I'm doing decent. We got some good topics to talk about today. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let's start off with the college football. Is that what you want
Oh,
to do?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So let's of course mention one of the top games that people will say is going to be a good game to watch. I've heard some people say that Texas A&M versus Arkansas, that could be a real one for Arkansas to be able to know what they'll be really up for, because both these teams are both top 25 teams and they're both 3-0. So we'll
Yep.
see.
Somebody's streak is ending tonight with those guys.
Well, they'll end on Saturday. We'll figure it out. Who you got?
Honestly, I'm thinking or actually, no. You want? I'm going to go with a little lower C. I'm going to go with Arkansas.
I'm going with Texas A&M because Texas A&M, this is one of the first years I've seen them have a well-balanced team. I'm thinking Texas A&M is going to beat Arkansas. Maybe it's going to be a close game, like maybe like 5-7 points, maybe by touchdown or touchdown and field goal is what I'm kind of thinking. Um, it's going to be a close game. Both of these teams are very matched for what we've seen, especially with their games, the way they've been going. They've been very, very matched with the way they both play. So it's going to be an interesting one.
It is. Honestly, I feel like the score is going to be, like you said, a touchdown, maybe even a field goal difference apart. If not, I'm going to be kind of surprised if one of these teams take off.
hmm And then you got another good one right here: Notre Dame versus Wisconsin. Notre Dame ranked number 12 currently, and Wisconsin ranked 18. Um, Notre Dame, of course, is yet to lose a game yet. Wisconsin sadly lost a game. They lost their second game. It was either second or first game. I can't remember.
I think it was their. Here, let me confirm it. I believe it was their second,
It was their first
but.
game. They lost against Penn State.
Okay.
Yep. So they lost against that. So we'll see. I think I'm pretty much putting my money on Notre Dame. Notre Dame is one of those teams. It's hard to beat them. They have such a good recruiting class.
Yeah. Wisconsin, though, who knows? They could have a bounce back game and show that, hey, we're still here. We're still here to take this championship this year.
It's hard to come back because we have so many of the good teams. You got Tech, you got Alabama that's 3-0 so far. Georgia is 3-0. Um, it's going to be hard for them to show that they can come back from that type of stuff, because Georgia, Alabama, all them. Like, I don't know if you watched or not. Did you end up watching the Clemson versus Georgia game? Like, that was a really good game, and that just
Uh,
shows what kind of talent's out there this year. Wisconsin, I don't think has the means to be able to take over that kind of skills. So, I mean, of course, we'll have to mention. Of course, we have to mention the two games. Georgia and Alabama both facing some very easy teams. Um, Alabama facing Southeastern Miss. Again, it's one of those colleges that, in my eyes, I don't worry about those colleges. I don't see why Alabama would even worry about that college, because yes, they have a good football program, but they're not on the same level as Alabama. Alabama is throwing for good points. No one's really keeping Alabama a close game. I mean,
that is true.
it's. I mean, the closest game they had so far was against Florida, and Florida did keep them within within a field goal.
Yeah, which makes me think whether Florida actually is going to be stepping up their game even more this year.
I don't know. That's going to be a tough one to see, because I know when Georgia go against them, We hopefully they will be able to beat them. And then you got Georgia ranked number 2 going against Vanderbilt. I'm telling this now. If Georgia doesn't beat Vanderbilt, I'm disowning Georgia. I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan, 100%. I will disown Georgia if they lose to Vanderbilt. Because if I'm not mistaken, Vanderbilt has only lost 2 times, and have won 1 game, and that was against State.
How about Vanderbilt ain't even ranked right now?
No, Vanderbilt hasn't been ranked in so long. It's pathetic. They have and personally, I don't believe they should be in the SEC, because remember how last year's season went? Like they had only SEC teams that they went against.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt won 0 games last year. They didn't beat no one in their conference. So that tells me if they're not beating anyone in their conference, they don't need to be in that conference. They need to be in an easier conference.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if Georgia embarrasses Vanderbilt not tonight, Saturday, then somebody needs to start looking into something and get Vanderbilt out of there.
It's the funny part is you have these teams that are easily beating Vanderbilt, and it's just ridiculous sometimes. Like I'm not lying right now. The toughest games, like there's 2 games that's gonna be tough on Georgia, and maybe 3. I'll say after this. Yeah, in all reality, wow. Georgia, I'm looking at this pretty ahead of time. Georgia's looking at nothing from here on out. They're looking at nothing but SEC games, except the last 2 games of the season, and those are against people who aren't so challenging. So,
They got any Oklahoma games they going against?
No, they don't. Right now, their teams that they're going to go against is, of course, Arkansas next week, Auburn, Kentucky, Florida, which is going to be the biggest game that Georgia. If Georgia wins that, they win. They win. I think I said the East. Yeah, they win the East, and if they win the East, they'll go into the what's it called? The SEC championship, and from there, we'll find out where they go. Yeah, I mean,
let's see if your Georgia freaking Bulldogs can do something this year.
hopefully they can get something going. I mean, you got Baylor versus Ohio State. Oh, that's gonna be an interesting one. Baylor is a decent team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think Baylor. Let me check and make sure I'm actually right on this. I am not.
Baylor's not even ranked, but they've won 3 games so far, unlike their opponents. So we might see Baylor again this year, going for something like they did a couple years back when they went against Georgia in the Sugar Bowls. They put something together magical.
Oh yeah, Baylor don't even have any players ranked as of right now. From what I'm seeing.
Again, they have a decent. A lot of these people have decent teams. It just comes down to what's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
But,
Honestly, I'm looking forward mostly to the Oklahoma versus West Virginia game this week, because Oklahoma is doing good. Oklahoma is looking great. They have multiple players that's in the top 25 of this freaking college football rank, and I'm happy about it. Oklahoma's doing great. I'm happy.
it's one of the first. It's been a while since Oklahoma's been doing good.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head when last time Oklahoma did this good.
Back whenever Baker Mayfield did all right with us, I believe. I think Baker Mayfield didn't lead us. Actually, did Baker Mayfield lead us to a championship? I actually gotta look that up now.
I don't think he did. I think he brought y'all close. I know y'all went against Georgia and y'all lost to Georgia. Like I know Baker Mayfield ended up losing to Georgia, but I don't remember if he took y'all to that. I remember he won the Heisman.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's really about it. I mean, Baker Mayfield was a really good player for y'all, but your quarterback this year just seems like he's doing good. He's doing good all the way around. I mean, he really don't. He has a couple of slips up here and there, but in all reality, what college team isn't having really isn't having a lot of mess ups. Take last weekend for example, Georgia versus South Carolina. Georgia had, like, if you didn't know this or not, we have our backup quarterback and our first quarterback and our primary quarterback are both playing every single game right now because our backup quarterback is as good, if not better, than our first quarterback. Which, as a Georgia fan, I hate to say it, I don't agree with who Kirby picks as our starting quarterback, but as long as we're winning games, I can't bitch too much. But we're both getting good. They're both getting good reps, but they're both at the end of the day still getting picks. Which I'm glad that the mistakes that they were making last weekend wasn't the kind of mistakes they were making the weekend with the Clemson game. Because if we were making mistakes like we made with South Carolina at the Clemson game, we would have lost so bad.
That
It would
is
not have been
true.
funny.
That is true.
So,
What
I
was
mean,
the
just
most
come.
surprising win out of the previous games? Out of all the games that were just recently played,
Oh,
who's the most surprising game and that came out on top? Uh-oh. Nathan, you there? Uh-oh. Think we lost Nathan.
All right. Well, what were we talking about? I'll fill in for Nathan, not knowing with me not knowing anything since he since he died. You had it like so perfect. I walked away. I'm in my kitchen cooking, and I just was preparing it, waiting for the oven to preheat. So I just like happened to come back right as you lose Nathan. All I hear is, "Nathan, you there? Uh-oh, we lost Nathan." I'm like, "I'm here. What's up?"
Yeah, well, with Nathan being out of commission currently, I'm just gonna go on to the OSU game versus Bozeman State Broncos. How about OSU making a comeback after that first quarter of going down to them, and that second quarter coming out and retaking the lead, holding them off just to win that by 1 point and going 3-0.
I
OSU's having a good start this year, surprisingly.
I will say you only made it a total of 12 minutes. Lost connection to the world. There he goes. It's supposed to just. I guarantee that's what it is. His
Yep,
phone died. Um,
probably. Nathan has a hard time charging his phone.
Nathan has a hard time with everything.
All right, let's keep that. We're alrighty. Well, then I'm just gonna go ahead since he's not here. I'm gonna go ahead and name the top 25 players in college right now. Uh, Kean Slows. Ignore me if I get these names wrong. The QB for UC or USC. He's number 25 on the board. Charlie Colon, tight end for Iowa State, number 24. For number 23, Northwestern, Brandon Joseph, their safety, is taking it. Wow, okay. Grant Wilson, I've heard this name quite a bit. The wide receiver at Ohio State is number 22. And the guard, Kean Green, Texas A&M. Actually, speaking of Texas A&M, they've been all right this year. Haskell Garnett, defensive tackle out of Ohio State, number 20. Number 19, Marvin Mims, or I believe that's how you say it. Wide receiver out of Oklahoma, taking number 19.
if that's not
Uh,
how you say it, you're gonna get chewed out. You already know that.
hey, I already said excuse me whenever I say these names wrong. I'm not exactly the best when it comes to names. John Dotson, wide receiver out of Penn State, takes number 18. Dylan Gabriel, quarterback out of UCF, taking number 17. Number 16 is a cornerback out of, golly, I mean, you know what? I'm not even going to try to say this because I'm not even going to try to I'm not going to try to butcher it. I'm just going to try to say that. Evan Neal at tight end out of Alabama. At least it says tight end. I don't. If he's not, then somebody correct them on that. Number 14, Robertson, running back out of Texas. Number 13, Brian, a defensive tackle, Clemson. Number 12, another man out of Texas A&M, defensive tackle, Lean, taking number 12. A linebacker out of Oklahoma. A lot of freaking a lot of defensive players here, surprisingly. Let's see, number 10, Chris, wide receiver out of Ohio State. These are the top 10 people. So, number 9, Matt, quarterback out of Ole Miss. Number 8, DJ QB for Clemson. DJ's actually been really good for Clemson, surprisingly. I'm kind of surprised by how he's performed this year. Bryce Hall, running back out of Iowa State. The man is a freaking beast. What can you say? Rushing at least 100 yards the last 2 seasons. Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame. The center, Tyler out of Iowa, taking number 5. Derek, cornerback out of LSU. Oh, sounds like Nathan's back.
Yeah.
All right. Did your phone die, Nathan?
Yeah, you know it did.
Torture.
Okay, I'm just making sure that people know.
Yeah.
Golly, I hate how some of these players have names that I can't even pronounce. But
I'm gonna let you continue.
there's a defensive end out of Oregon. Nathan, if you know who I'm talking about, please say his name. But he's number 3.
No, I don't.
Nope. Alrighty. Number 2, Sam out of that. Actually, this is North Carolina's QB, Sam Howell. I believe that's how you say it. If not, then oh well. I'm not a North Carolina fan anyways, so. And speaking of OU doing good this year, and actually our QB, he's number 1 in the rankings. Spencer. 18 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, averaging 205.8 passing yards. That's not bad.
It might be finally your year.
Hey, OU, bring the championship.
Hey, look, it's finally y'all's year to go lose to Alabama.
Hey, if we can beat Alabama, that would be fantastic. But if we don't, then Alabama needs to lose some players.
I tell you, Alabama is just a powerhouse altogether.
They really are. They really are. It's crazy how good Alabama's been.
Yeah, I mean, but they're the top in every recruiting class, no matter what.
That is true.
But hey, I mean, the stuff gonna happen. But I think overall, though, this week coming up week is gonna be more of a blander week, except with of course the few bigger games. But this week's not gonna be really all that exciting.
We got Kentucky at South Carolina. Kentucky, I'm kind of surprised that ain't Kentucky usually up there in the rankings?
Kentucky? No.
Or who is it that I'm thinking of that's usually up in the rankings that's not?
Well, I mean, you have Clemson that's usually that's up amongst higher than what it is. Ohio State.
That's who. Okay, never mind.
What's Ohio State ranked right now? I forgot. And like
Ohio ain't even ranked.
I mean, that's hard. Like, yeah, okay, there you go. If Ohio ain't even ranked, I mean, that's kind of not saying anything too good because do you remember at the end of last season, they went pretty far.
Yeah, and everyone had big expectations for them.
Yeah, I mean, they got beat by they beat Clemson, I believe is what it was. And then they went all the way to the championship game, and the championship game lost to Alabama.
Yeah, which Alabama really needs to just lose to somebody this year. Unless you're an Alabama fan, then of course you're gonna be rooting for them.
I mean, Alabama's Alabama. I'm happy that they're at least in the same conference as like my favorite team is, because it shows like how powerful the conference I root for is. Is we have the top two people on the thing right now is from the SEC. Like the top two powerhouses are from the SEC. So that says something right there.
That is true. All right. So how are we looking? Have we been doing this for 30 minutes, Luke? If you're here.
I'm about to say, I think it's time to switch to what everybody really wants to hear, the NFL predictions.
Yes, which we got some good games, honestly.
I mean, we got a couple of good games. Nothing that's gonna spite me, like be like, oh, this is gonna be a hard game. Well, actually, no, I'm looking at two of them. Three games right here that are gonna be awesome to watch.
The one I'm mostly looking forward to is the rivalry match between the Steelers and the Bengals.
Y'all gonna, I hope I'm not like no joke or anything like that. The Steelers need to wipe the floor with Joe Burrow again. Joe Burrow just hasn't had enough time to develop as a QB yet in the NFL, and the Bengals did him no favors in the draft.
They really didn't.
The Bengals need to realistically go get him an O-line. If he had a good O-line, the Bengals would be better.
Oh yeah, but the thing is though, the Pittsburgh's, as it says right here, Pittsburgh is the favorite to win, which I have no surprise there.
No. I mean, so yeah. I'll tell you another game I'm very much gonna watch. Buccaneers and the Rams.
Yep, I was just about to say that one next. The Buccaneers and Rams, both 2-0. That game is going to be a good one.
You have the Rams when they did the rebuilding top deal that they did. They also got that wonderful QB, Matt Stafford. They just did an awesome job over the offseason rebuilding their stuff. I hate to say it, I'm going to pick the Rams to win over the Buccaneers because I don't think the Buccaneers can win over the Rams this year. I think the Rams this year are a playoff contending deal because the Buccaneers, to my knowledge, hasn't. Yeah, the only people the Buccaneers have realistically faced that would be a hard challenge was the Cowboys. I feel like the Rams are a little bit more tested to a degree. Because they do have like the Chicago Bears underneath their belt and the Colts. They just have played better people and kept that a little bit better. And realistically, the only tough team that the Buccaneers went against, they won barely by the skin of their teeth. So I have to pick the Rams. I think the Rams are more battle tested. What about you?
Everything you just said there convinced me, even with the Rams, because the Buccaneers. I'm waiting for Tom Brady to get his injury that puts him out for his career, or Tom Brady's going to have his downfall year. It's going to happen either this year or next year if Tom Brady thinks he's going to play all the way until 50.
I mean,
yes,
Tom
people
Brady's
are calling him the GOAT, but
I'll say this: Tom Brady is a good QB. I'm not gonna say it, no, but the problem with that is he's a good QB and all. It's just he's not battle tested. The Rams are going to be his first real battle he's going to have.
Yep.
And that's kind of hard.
The Rams are going to get to Brady a lot, I feel like.
I feel the same way. I feel the Rams are just going to, with that Rams defense that they got, it's going to be hard for Brady to beat it.
I honestly predict at least 4 to 5 sacks, at least, honestly.
I don't know about 4 or 5 sacks because the Buccaneers brought in a lot of good O-linemen. The Buccaneers have a good O-line. It's just I'm pretty much saying I think the Buccaneers' problem with their team is their defense. I think with Matt Stafford, it's going to be the play of the two defenses. I mean, not the play of the two offenses. Both of these teams have a good defense, but they could do better. But it's gonna come down to the end of the day what it realistically looks like. You know?
Yeah. How about I know you're a Falcons fan, but how about the Falcons not being favored to beat the Giants?
Don't surprise me.
Really?
No.
You want to give me some intel on your Falcons?
I'll say everything. I know what's wrong with the Falcons. The Falcons had a perfect prime example to choose a new QB of the future, and Mac Jones, Justin Fields. We had the prime time example to draft it, or just draft a better O-lineman. I didn't feel like at that time we needed another tight end. A tight end was not what we needed. We already have one of the best tight ends in Herschel. Hirsch. Hayden Hurst. He is a great tight end, so I didn't feel like a QB is like a tight end was like that's what we need. I felt QB. Matt Ryan is getting up in age. He has a limited contract now. So what I would say is with him is keep him for his contract, but bring in a new QB to let him learn off of Matt Ryan and just keep that going and see what kind of happens from there. Because we could have had a very much a good caliber QB. Look at Mac Jones, what he's doing with the Patriots. He's doing decent. Look at Justin Fields. Justin Fields is not doing too bad. Well, my bad. He hasn't played a game yet, has he?
No.
Yeah, my bad. But you have a lot of these QBs so far that, I mean, Trevor Lawrence, he looks awesome, but Trevor Lawrence got put in a bad situation.
He did.
He got put in a really bad situation because the Jacksonville Jaguars does not have a good team at all. The Jacksonville Jaguars are setting Trevor Lawrence up to fail. That is it.
Oh yeah.
He is going to fail. And the combination of a head coach that don't know what he's doing, I don't see anything good coming out of this head coach. He's done terrible so far, and I can see him continuing to do bad. I don't even think they've won yet, have they?
Nope.
Yeah, no, they haven't won.
They're 0-2, and their next game is against the Cardinals.
Yeah, and oh my god, and that's gonna be terrible for his ass. He's going to get sacked a minimum of 14 times. It feels like because J.J. Watt is going to get him.
No, yeah.
I am predicting this game J.J. Watt to get at least 5 sacks. That's what's just going to continue, and nailing that on him is just going to kill him. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I'm waiting for him just to get murdered, honestly. And if I don't see an injury report on him, that man took a lot of hits just to end up coming back for next week and possibly getting sacked more.
I mean, he doesn't have the best O-line, but it's a situation he's stuck in, and it's not like he ain't getting paid good money to be in that situation.
That is true. I also heard you say something about the Patriots, who are 1-1, and to play the Saints. Also, and the thing is, though, New England is favored to win against the Saints.
Yeah, that don't surprise me. New England has a new franchise QB and Matt Jones. Matt Jones is a really good QB overall. They're currently, I feel like the Patriots are sitting better now than they were sitting last year. Last year when they had, what's his name? What was his name? I forgot his name.
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton is not a Super Bowl caliber QB anymore. He was years ago, but he's not now. So Cam Newton, when he left South Carolina, I don't see him going back to a Super Bowl in his life. But Matt Jones, I see him going to a couple of Super Bowls. Especially with all those weapons that the Patriots put around him, it's hard not to see it.
True. The Patriots released Cam Newton. Cam Newton's currently sitting in free agency that I know of.
Yeah. There's a couple rumors of him speaking with the Ravens, that type of stuff, but it's all rumors right now. Nothing's confirmed.
With the Ravens, him being a backup to Lamar Jackson?
Which wouldn't be a bad idea because the Ravens have a good set. Like, Cam Newton was more of a running QB than he was a throwing. And that's what the Ravens...
true, but they got Lamar Jackson, who's a hella fast QB.
Oh, yeah. It's going to happen. You're going to have situations where Lamar Jackson can get hurt. The man, I hate to say it, no one's invincible. The man can get hurt. Running that ball as much as he does, he's going to get hurt. Take, what's his name? The Bengals QB. Joe Burrow. That's how he got hurt last season.
That is true.
I mean, it can happen to anybody. No one is just going to be perfectly going on and on and on. Some situations are going to look better than others.
Now, the next game right here, it's not a very big game, but this team is surprising me so far with their start. The Broncos of going 2-0 so far. The fact that the Broncos are 2-0 out of, I can't remember the last time they were good. Back whenever they had Peyton Manning was the last time I knew they were good.
I mean, they have a good O-line. And that's what's going to save them. Drew Lock is not a bad QB. I've seen worse QBs. Trust me, there's about 1 million QBs out there that could be a whole lot worse than what Drew Lock's sitting. So Drew Lock's sitting there and saying that he's not a good QB, which a lot of people are saying about him. That's kind of harsh. Saying the Broncos aren't doing good is terrible because the Broncos are doing good for what they are. And also this weekend is no test.
Oh yeah, they go against the Jets, who are 0-2, and the Jets are bad. Broncos are gonna beat them.
And like I said earlier, like the Jaguars are messing up Trevor Lawrence. The Jets are messing up Zach Wilson. Or is that his name?
Yeah.
They're messing him up. I mean, he's set to fail, and that's ridiculous to me because he is a good QB. Like, these are two QBs, Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, that I want to see go to a Super Bowl. They got drafted by the teams who don't care about it. I actually had the part where I go to school at. We've had an NFL player who went to our school, and he actually got drafted by the Jets. And he said the Jets are the worst team to play for because they don't care about you at all. You are just a number on their board. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, they get rid of you. And that's not like for all teams. Because this is the same person who also went and played for the Chicago Bears. I'm not going to say his name because he has for it to be personal because I've talked to him and I asked him before I did this, but he asked for it to stay unanimous. But he also went and played for Chicago Bears, and it was a family environment, not in the Jets. The Jets are more about numbers than they care about their family. And the Jets also have a terrible owners. Their owners could care less about what they do. Same with the Jaguars. The Jaguar owners are terrible. And I feel like the Jaguar owner is setting these people up to fail so that the Jacksonville area wants them gone so that he can move that team to London. And that's been rumors for years. Right now, that looks more prevalent than anything to me. I mean, their easiest game they were guaranteed to win. They lost. And look at these people. Look at the Jets. The Jets don't look like they ever gonna have a win.
The Jets really went 0-16 one year, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean the Jets are decent. The Jets may get a win against the Texans, maybe. The Jets versus the Jaguars. We'll find out which QB's better. It's not looking promising for this team. I hate to say it, I have Atlanta winning over the Jets. I mean, even I have Atlanta Falcons, which is my favorite team, but at the end of the day, I know they're not good.
Oh, yeah.
So,
which?
I mean...
yeah, speaking of actual... Those are the two worst teams in the league that needs to do something. Well, okay. They are tied with the Lions, who are also 0-2. And let's see, who else is 0-2? The Colts are 0-2.
Now, Lions, I can tell you, I can tell you what's wrong with the Lions.
What's wrong with the Lions? Jordan
Goff.
Ooh.
He's a terrible quarterback. Terrible. Awful. The worst you can get. The only reason he looked good was because of the Rams. When the Rams gave him to Detroit, and Detroit gave up Matt Stafford, that was the worst decision for the Lions. Because now the Lions don't have that all option that you used to have of having a quarterback who's going to steal them a couple games. That's not an option anymore. It comes down to what's playable, and that's not valid anymore. Yes, they have a really good run game right now with DeAndre Swift. He's doing awesome. I was actually, right before this, I was watching his running highlights from the last week. Like, I was watching this guy jump a guy. Like, he legitimately came off the ground and jumped over someone and got more yardage. They have a great run game, just no pass game because of their quarterback. And Matt Stafford and what he's showing, what he can do with a good NFL caliber team, that proves to me right there, okay, the Rams knew what they were doing. It's just Jordan Goff was keeping them all the way back.
All right, you got any feedback on the Vikings you possibly can give us?
The Vikings. I really haven't paid much attention. The Vikings are one of those teams that, to me, they're decent. They're not looking bad. They're not looking good. They're looking decent.
Really? Wow. With even 0-2 start, you still think they're decent?
Yeah. The Vikings will always have their problems that they'll always have. Now the Vikings have some pretty good players now here and there, but then again, it comes down to a quarterback situation. I mean, there's a reason why the quarterback's the highest paid position out there, and that's because they know what they're doing and they're really good at it. And so in this position, the Vikings don't have a great quarterback, but they have they have a quarterback that's going to keep them in a decent range, unless they just want to totally tank this year to get a number 1 overall pick. Which I'm at the point of saying Atlanta needs to do that this year, is just to tank the rest of the season, lose every single game this season, and so we can get the number 1 overall pick and draft the best player next season.
I mean, hey, it could be OU's QB.
Something's better than nothing.
I mean, no, OU, like I said earlier, OU has the number 1 ranked QB, so it could be.
I mean, give me a QB that knows what he's doing for this team or another team, and teams will be able to put more together. It's just right now there's no team doing what they're supposed to be doing.
All right. Now getting off the topic of bad teams, let's go on to like the more good teams. How about the 49ers and the Packers?
That is a game I'm watching.
The 49ers are the favorite to win right now.
I don't see it. After what the Packers did last week, and Packers did a good job last week. Yeah, what's it called? They looked like they had a good run game. They had a good strong throwing game, but you are right there. They haven't been tested.
Especially
So
with
far,
that beef between Aaron Rodgers and the Packers still.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point what happens between that. It's going to happen. This is the last dance for the Packers.
It is. Packers got to make something happen this year. Honestly, I'm favoring the. I don't know. I really want to see the Packers actually win this. I really do. What you think, Nathan? What's your prediction?
I mean, the best team will win overall. That's what my prediction is. Sorry about that. But no, I think the best team overall will win. It just comes down to the best way they put it. There's nothing really to say about it, you know?
All right. Now, we got the Cowboys and Eagles that's also going to be playing, and Dallas is favored to win that game. I can actually agree with that. I actually do see the Cowboys winning that. And if the Cowboys lose to the Eagles, I'm going to be very shocked. Even though they are both 1-1, I still see Dak Prescott winning that.
I mean, if they don't beat the team that has more identity issues than so many other teams, it's pathetic. The Eagles are a good caliber team. The Eagles are good. The Eagles' problem is, you know who their only win is against?
Who was it against? I forgot.
Atlanta Falcons.
Okay.
And they got tested with the 49ers, and they lost that test.
They did.
I don't see someone who held Tom Brady to less than a field goal winning it. I mean, not winning. I don't see him not winning. Dak Prescott is an amazing QB. That's why, as everyone calls him, the American team, he just can't afford not to have Dak Prescott because he's the most important thing out there. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Now, have we talked about the Chiefs and the Chargers game coming up?
No.
Well, the Chiefs are of course, favorites to win that game. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, after just losing to the Ravens, they need a bounce-back game after that.
It was a good game.
It was. But the very last play with Lamar Jackson just basically running in and doing a flip kind of was embarrassing to the Chiefs, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to happen. You have those bad games. But Justin Hurts, Mike Wilson, those are some good people and know what they're doing. I mean, it comes down to what all they can do and put together.
Mm, that is true. And then, honestly, this Thursday, the Panthers and Texans play. And, of course, Panthers are favored to win that one. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, the Panthers, an explosive start to the season. I've been saying this since day one. I mean, I'm expecting the Panthers go all the way.
All right.
I mean, you don't come. I'm sorry, you just don't come out of the gates being a what's it called? A Super Bowl contending team that I think could contend for another Super Bowl this year. You don't come out of that gates and hold them to 3 points and put 38 on the board. I mean, you don't do that. I mean, it's just all in reality. Like, what's going to happen is going to be nice. Like, you can't do something like that. No. But yeah.
That is all the major teams going to be playing. Let's give our NFL Super Bowl predictions. What's the two teams you think that's going to make it to the Super Bowl this year?
Chiefs.
The Chiefs and
I'm trying to think. I don't really know. I mean,
you did just say the Panthers could make it.
I'm gonna go with the Panthers.
Panthers and Chiefs.
Chiefs and the
matchup?
Panthers. I think that's what we're gonna have. That's what I'm gonna go with this year. I think it's gonna be a matchup for the ages.
Honestly, I really hope, of course, this is just me being a fan of the Steelers. I really hope the Steelers and Rams meet, but from a outside fandom, I think it's going to be the Chiefs and Rams.
Now, if we were talking about what I want to happen, give me the Chicago Bears versus Atlanta Falcons. That's what I want to happen. Reality. I gotta say, Chiefs and Panthers. The Panthers have had an explosive start to their season, and I see them continuing to go with that explosive start. You don't just do a massive thing like that and just not keep it. And plus, I guarantee, and I'm saying this now, my money's on the Panthers winning this weekend because it is the Houston Texans, and to my knowledge, the Texans' main QB, he's not really. I don't think he's played a snap this season.
I think he's making a return this one. I have to check and make sure that's true or not.
Well, I don't. To my knowledge, I don't think he's played it down this season. Of course, that's because of his bad situation he has with the current team he's with. But I mean, gonna be interesting. I tell you.
Actually, yeah, I think their QB is going to be back because he was missing games because of COVID.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think this is going to be his first game back with them, which is going to be interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's talk about something. Well, let's talk about the real one though. Let's talk about something real for a second.
What's that?
Who's going to get the MVP award this year?
Ooh, hoo-hoo. That's obviously not gonna say my person yet because there's a lot of people that's gonna be contending for that. Like, of course, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers. They're all gonna have their names in there. Russell Wilson's another candidate, I believe. Dak Prescott could have it. Actually, you know what? That's gonna be my MVP. Dak Prescott's gonna win it this year.
Dak Prescott is what you're thinking.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to be a quarterback.
Ooh.
That's saying something weird. Is saying that. We've had situations in the past where the MVPs not always went to a quarterback.
That is true. That is true.
I
Who
think.
you got in mind?
I mean, you got a lot of great talents out there, and all the wide receiver. I think it's gonna be a wide receiver. I'm gonna say that. I think there's a lot of good talent like Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley. Those are some really good wide receivers. Of
Tyreek
course,
Hill.
Tyreek Hill. You have a lot of good wide receivers this year. But there's one of them that just kind of like, okay, this is someone who looks like he might contend for it. But then again, quarterbacks are more famous for winning these awards, but we've had them. I mean, we've had it. And by the way, if you don't know who I'm talking about Radon Cobbs, the Packers wide receiver.
Ooh.
And by the
Okay.
way, I'm sorry I butchered his name, but that's what I'm thinking. Was it like Radon Cobbs?
For some reason,
Randall Cobb, number 18,
it's. And you said what team again?
the Packers. Like I've been keeping my eye on him for several years now. I think he'd be perfect. I think he's perfect to win it. What do you think?
For some reason, it popped up a whole different former Packers player. Age 61. Golly, that guy is old now. Why are they not pulling him up? You know what? Let me just go to the Packers roster because freaking Google's not finding this guy for some reason. You
Yeah.
said number 16?
18.
18. Okay.
I think he's going to be a great one for it, but it's too early to tell. I might be totally wrong.
Randall
Randall.
Cobb? Randall Cobb or what? I see who you're talking about. 5'10", 195 pounds, age 31. Okay.
He has it. I'm sorry. He has the great caliberness into it. I mean, I think he can do it.
4 receptions, 58 yards, 14.5. He's averaging no touchdowns so far.
Not this season so far, but I feel like he can pick up.
Okay, so you're saying he has a slow start to the season as of right now, and then he's gonna pick it up mid through.
I mean, wasn't that the case last season with the Packers QB Aaron Rodgers? He started slow last season. He just didn't come out of the gate. He didn't come out of the gate throwing like 1,000 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's having. I think he's having a slow start, and I think he could contend. But I may be totally wrong. It just comes out of what it is.
Honestly, hold on. Let me check something. Come on now. Huh. Honestly, if we're going wide receivers wise, honestly, I say Juju Smith has a better shot at winning the MVP than he does.
Juju Smith is a really good one, but I'll stick with who I say.
That's fair. That's fair because the guy you also picked has Aaron Rodgers also thrown to him, so I can see Aaron Rodgers getting him and helping him win that.
Oh yeah.
Because
Like
of
me and
course
you
Juju
play.
Smith has Ben Roethlisberger, so Ben Roethlisberger could do better.
Oh yeah. I mean, take Calvin Ridley for example for the Atlanta Falcons. He could be an MVP, but he has Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean, just don't sound on what you have.
Which I just got an update about an hour ago. Steelers Ben Roethlisberger is dealing with injuries. He's questionable for the game against the Bengals. Ooh. So that
Your
could,
secondary, the secondary should be able to handle him.
I hope so, because that actually has me a little questioned. Like, who? Hold up.
What's the Bengals' record so far this season?
1-1.
Who they played? Vikings and Bears.
Okay, and they beat the Vikings.
They haven't been. They've been putting up decent numbers. It's just, I don't think yeah. I mean, so far they've went against two average teams.
That is true.
I mean, the Steelers are more capable of going to the Super Bowl than anything else.
Oh yeah, can't sleep on the Steelers.
No. I mean, last year y'all went further than I thought y'all were going to go.
I mean, even with a first round freaking exit, I was very upset about that.
It's better.
Nobody expected
It's
freaking the
better.
Browns to beat us.
I mean, it's better to take it. No one thought the Browns were going to go as far as they did go.
That is true. The Browns did amazing.
Just saying. I mean, you want to say something about that, but all reality, the Browns had a really good quarterback.
I mean, yeah, Baker Mayfield.
I feel the Browns are going to come back because
Oh, yeah.
you have. I'm saying this now. The Browns are going to be at the end season. Are going for be in the end of the season. They're going to be for what's it called, playoffs, because right
yeah.
now they're doing too good not to. The combination of having some of the best wide receivers, one of the best quarterbacks in Baker Mayfield, and then having, in my opinion, the best next to the second best running back, and Nick Chubb.
That is
Nick
true.
Chubb
Nick
has
Chubb
put
is
up-
really good.
Nick Chubb has put up awesome stats over the seasons. I don't think he's had a bad year yet.
Nick Chubb's actually been pretty solid. I'm waiting for him to be like the next Marshawn, honestly.
That's surprising he hasn't. He ain't. I mean, he's doing good. He's only at 25, and he's doing record numbers. He is I think that's last season's total. I'm not sure. I don't think that's like the updated total. Because he got drafted in 20. Oh yeah, he got drafted in 2018,
Yep.
and he didn't play. He didn't play his first year.
Nah, because of the injury, I believe it was.
No, they put him on the bat. Like he played a little bit, but not like the first. Like he wasn't like first one. They were trying to let him learn a little bit, but what he did is he came out of that from 2018 through 2020. He's rushed for 3,640 yards.
Oh wow.
That's awesome recordage. Like that's awesome running.
Yeah.
Now I might be wrong when I'm saying about him not playing much his first season. I might be wrong, but he's doing better than what his predecessors were doing. Because if you remember that same season, I mean that same draft, there was actually him. He was drafted, I think it was before, or it was either drafted before or after Sony Michel.
I think he was
Sony Michel,
before. I think maybe.
I think it was before. I'm not sure. Like Sony Michel got drafted by the Patriots.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, he was drafted before, and Sony Michel just got switched to. He actually got traded to the Rams, which not a bad idea for the Rams to get like that good of a running back. Which I'll say that like Georgia has an awesome making of running backs. Like we've had Todd Gurley, I mean we've had Nick Chubb, we've had Sony Michel, we have Zamir White about to come out. We've had John J. Swift come out of Georgia. Georgia's really good at making a running back.
That is true. Georgia does.
I mean, we've had some of the best running backs out there. So, I mean, we'll see what's all about to happen, though.
Yeah. Shoot, you want to make our predictions and make it and possibly wrap it up? See who's gonna have the best. Who do you think's gonna have the best defense, and who do you think's gonna have the best offense this season?
Offense, got to give it to the Arrowheads. Got to give it to them.
Okay.
Defense, it's a tie to me.
Between two teams, with two teams.
The Ravens and the Browns.
Really? Wow.
No, my bad. 3. Ravens, Browns, and Cardinals.
Wow. All right. Shoot, offense for me. Whew, it's honestly between two. I think it's gonna be either the Chiefs or the Green Bay Packers. And for defense, I'm thinking either the Rams or you know what? Either the Rams or the Colts. I feel like the or Ravens. Ravens might have a little more edge on them.
I mean, it comes down to what it says. So yeah, let's go. Hey, let's go ahead and give like our wrapping up. So like everybody understands like who we think is going to win each and every game this season. Well, this week at least. So we'll go ahead and I'll tell you. I'll name.
Alright, guys, real quick, just some technical difficulties. It just went down. Discord has been being slow for us this week, especially my side since I have a lot of stuff open. So give it a couple seconds and we should be back in there any second. I don't know why it likes to.
My team are the Bills.
There it goes.
I guess I'm gonna go with Washington.
All right, never mind it. Point out again. Like I said, guys, this quit has been okay.
Saints or Patriots?
Honestly,
Here you guys go.
I'm gonna go with the Patriots. They've surprised me, so
I'm going with Saints. I'm going for another wild card. I feel like the Saints can put something together. Yes, they're one on one like them, but I'm going to say the Saints. I think the Saints can put something together, throw some good deep balls, get some good stuff going on with them. Falcons and Giants.
really, I guess I'm gonna go with the freaking Falcons. Why not?
I'm gonna say it too. I'm gonna say this one. I'm gonna say the Giants. The Giants have a good, decent team. The Falcons have a great team to me, but they can do a lot better in what they're doing, a lot better execution. And I don't feel like the head coach we have right now is a smart one. So I'm gonna say the Giants. Bengals or Steelers?
Steelers all day.
I'm gonna throw the Bengals. I'm
Ooh,
going for
all right.
Bengals.
All right.
Ravens and Lions.
Honestly, I'm going for the Ravens.
Ravens. I'm sorry. Lions are too trash for that. Jets or Broncos?
Broncos easily.
Broncos. Dolphins or Raiders?
Raiders, honestly.
After that blowout that the Dolphins had, it just showed that Tuga however you say that man's last name.
Mm-hmm.
That is the hardest last name I've ever had to pronounce. It showed the Dolphins don't have a good QB. So I'm going with the Raiders.
Yep.
Buccaneers versus Rams.
Buccaneers versus Rams. I'm going with the Rams.
I'm going with the Rams as well. Rams have two. To me, I feel like this man would have been in the Super Bowl more if he had the caliber team behind him, like he does now. Matt Stafford, I feel like personally, is a better QB than not Patrick, than Tom Brady. Seahawks or Vikings?
I'm going with Russell Wilson and the Seahawks.
I'm going Vikings. I'm gonna go with Vikings. The Vikings need a win, and the Seahawks seem like they were kind of off last week. But I mean, we can kind of see what's gonna happen, see what they can kind of put together this week because they lost to Tennessee by a field goal. So Vikings. All right. Sorry, the list got put away somehow.
Oh, okay.
All right. Packers or 49ers?
Honestly, I want to see the Packers win.
I do too. And that's what I'm going to choose too. I don't see the 49ers winning this one. I see the Packers doing an amazing job with their run game. I see them doing an amazing job with their defense. And I see them putting a stop to the 49ers, but it's going to be a close one.
Yep.
Eagles or Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Cowboys. I say that with you. The Eagles have too much holes in their offense. And also the fact that they cannot figure out what they want their franchise quarterback to be yet. They think they found it in Jalen Hurts, but we just don't know yet. So yeah, I think that wraps up like every team that's playing this week. So I think that's gonna be the end of it today. So it's been nice having fun talking with you about all the good sports coming up this week.
Yep. Man, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So hopefully, ladies